Apollo Media's NFL podcast, Play Action Takes. It is your boy, Kush. Stone, it's been a while since I've seen you. It's good to see your face right now. Football's back, man. How we feeling?
Football's back. I'm back. It's my son's first football season of his lifetime. That's why my hiatus has lasted this long. Been on a little bit of paternity leave, trying to figure out fatherhood for the first time. But my boy, it's going to be his first football season. I get to introduce him to my fandom of being a Miami Dolphins fan and the hell that it is that my dad gave to me and what his dad gave to him, where they had a lot of fun in their childhood and early fandom. I haven't had a single ounce of fun in 28 years, 20, I don't know how many years you count me as a fan, but I'm 30 years old. So my son's first year is coming up. So we're going to see how he handles that one.
First of all, congratulations. And second of all, I guess to him, not so much. His first year of Miami Dolphins fandom is going to be tough. But we are going to get into that in a little bit. This is our AFC East 2026 preview / predictions episode. So I'm going to hand it off to you. Why don't we start off with the Miami Dolphins?
We should get him
I'm
out
going
of the
to
way.
hand the rock to you on this one.
Like you said, not so lucky first year for my son, but it's also kind of lucky. He's never going to remember this ever. It's like it's just never going to exist in his mind. He's just going to see it on Google, NFL Pro Football Reference. Like he's just going to see the numbers. He's going to see things. I'm going to hide all clips, every clip, unless there's a good one, like there was the other day on the in the preseason game against the Commanders. Malik Willis, who not Chris Bell. Chris Bell got activated today, so we have another wide receiver. Receivers are bad. Everything's bad about this team outside of like Devon Achane. Jacob Rodriguez looks pretty sick at linebacker. I think the defense is going to be like better, but not good because the secondary is bad. Malik Willis, just show us what you have. Devon Achane, don't get hurt. He's going to get 40 touches a game is what Halfley said. So, no, I think we're going to suck. I wonder how bad the suck is. Are we looking at like a 2019 Brian Flores situation where it was really dark for 8 weeks and then all of a sudden they go 5 and whatever that was, 5-11. I can't remember if at 5-11, 5-12, whatever that year was. I think it was 5-11. And you ended the 5-6 to end the season. You're like, okay, it's not too bad. Or are we looking at like 2008 Dolphins, Cam Cameron? Are we looking at 1 win, 2 wins, 3 wins? I don't know. I think that's kind of the situation here. It's like, is Malik Willis cool and is he good? And you don't have to draft a quarterback with one of the top picks and keep Devon Achane, who got really rich, but not the richest running back contract in football, which was nice to get that done under Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs and all those guys. So that was good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to piggyback off what you just said about the running back contracts. I think the Dolphins did a great job of getting him done early because, I mean, you look at these other guys, the money they got, it's a lot of damn money. And the Dolphins are kind of in that, situation where obviously you want to pay your guys, which they did. But you're also in a situation where you're trying to build something and saving money probably would be the smart thing to do. As far as how their season is going to go, I'm excited to see Malik Willis, what he looks like, starting for the first time in his career. A guy that, coming out of the draft, he was one of those sleeper guys where people were like, hey, this guy, his potential is kind of through the roof, but, we'll see what he does in the league. So he's finally a starter. The run game is going to be good. Devon Achane is a superstar talent at running back. I would say top 3 running back in the league. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but there it is. I feel like this team can maybe fumble their way into a couple wins when, I feel like the Dolphins are the kind of franchise where when you don't want them to win games, when you don't need them to win games, they're probably going to win a couple.
Yep.
And when you want them to win some, as you know, they have a hard time doing that too. So
that was the 2019 year, right?
Yeah.
If you just lose to the Bengals instead of beating them, that was a really close game, by the way. If you lose to the Eagles that season instead of winning it, another really close game. Devontae Parker went nuts in that one. You just lose those 2 games, and you lose to Tom Brady last game of the season, which actually coincidentally ended Tom Brady's reign in Foxborough in New England because they ended up losing to the Titans because they had to play in round 1 instead of having the round 1 bye because Mike Gesicki, Ryan Fitzpatrick, all that in 2019. If you just lose those 3 games, you get the top pick, you get Joe Burrow. Maybe things are different. Maybe things aren't because Joe Burrow is just as hurt as Tua Tagovailoa. Tua dropping the snap the other day, and then Michael Penix pointing at him, by the way, like just gave me so much relief as a Dolphins fan. Like Malik Willis was just running for first downs and sliding, and like I didn't have a fear of him just dying on the field. And then Tua dropped his first like third snap of his Falcons career in preseason. Like I'm free. Like my chains have been broken. Whatever happens this season, I'm okay with. Honestly, it really doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, I was watching that Falcons preseason game the other day, and I was thinking of you the other day. We're just watching Tua do Tua things, and I was like, man, I'm glad my boy is free from the shackles right now.
I'm probably going to end up playing golf with him at some point in the next 6 months here in Georgia. It's bound to happen, I think. So that ought to be interesting. But otherwise, good for Tua. Get your money and have fun in Georgia, I guess. He loves that stadium. He won a championship there. But
Tua doing Tua things. But yeah, with the Dolphins, I feel like at their very best, they could probably win 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, I think their ceiling maybe is 7 games. I think their defense is actually going to be like an actual system. We're not looking at Mike McDaniel like having to figure this shit out. Like Halfley's coming in and implementing a system. Everyone's on the same page. This is the first time that they've cleaned house. They also got a new GM/president, CEO. It's Stephen Ross's son-in-law, so I'm curious to see what happens there. But like he was the one that led the charge on the GM search. The GM search with the son, the CEO, they led the search for the coach. Everybody's on the same page, and that hasn't happened over the last 26 years. We're in 2026. That's never happened in my lifetime of watching the Dolphins. So to have a full clean slate, have a full clean house essentially, and everyone is on the same page, that is different. This is a building year. See what you have in your quarterback. Protect Devon Achane at all costs. Protect Patrick Paul, Jacob Rodriguez, and Aaron Brewer, and those kinds of guys at all costs, and have your building blocks heading into 2027 and see what happens. But yeah, I think their ceiling's max 7 games. And that's like, yeah, the defense is really good. And Malik Willis and Devon Achane, we're running a crazy 2-man game on offense, and the offensive line is good. That's the best case scenario. I think we're looking at 4 wins.
The last reason I'm be watching this team is shout out Bobby Slowick, man. I want to see what
Bobby
like
Slowick
can. I want to see what he can do with this offense. I mean, he has a dual threat quarterback. Didn't really have that in Houston.
Yeah.
He's got one of the best running backs in the league. Didn't have that in Houston. So, however, he doesn't have Nico Collins anymore. He doesn't really have any receivers. So, I mean, we'll see. I'm going to be watching this team not only for you, but for Bobby Slowick too, man. I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, it's strange having coaches that like walk through a press conference and you are actually coherent and then actually follow up on their words and have accountability for their players. Like Ollie Gordon got benched during the preseason game because he got pissed and threw a ball and got a flag for it. Halfley said that we don't do that shit around here, so you're not playing the rest of the game. And he benched him. And he was a, I don't know, 5th round pick, 3rd round pick, whatever he was. Like, but he was a really good college player and he was decent last year. He wasn't perfect, but he was decent for a bad team, and benched him in a preseason game. He's not just walking the walk, he's talking the talk with it. So I kind of like Halfley and maybe the foundation that he's going to lay as a coach. So we'll see what that looks like. I know I'm long-winded on the Dolphins because I'm a fan, and I've actually kind of started to, this past week, I've like, okay, I think I like what's going on here.
You're locked in.
I think I like it. I know this season's not going to be like a super fun watch necessarily, but the building blocks, the foundation of a franchise that's maybe turning the corner for the first time ever in my fandom, kind of like what's going on here.
Yeah, so speaking of, culture changes, we went from the Dolphins, who looks like they're having one right now, hopefully for you.
Yeah.
To a team that has needed a culture change for the last 20 to 30 years,
just as long as
maybe 30 years is pushing it, but at least since Rex Ryan has been a coach of this team, we're talking about the New York Jets. This team's bad, terrible, awful, horrible. What do we have any other adjectives to describe this team?
I'm just gonna Google Jets roster real quick. Just to get a refresher, new fatherhood, and just figuring it out. Dumpster fire, inept, shithole, like what they say in Moneyball, where he's like, there's the top teams, and then there's the middling teams, and then there's a 50-foot pile of shit, and then there's the Oakland Athletics. Like in terms of spending, that's not what the Jets do. They spend and they do all the things, but like Woody Johnson and company that have been running this team for how many ever years now have just driven this thing into the ground. Like the last good Jets team outside of those Rex Ryan years? Is it like Vinny Testaverde? Is that late 90s, early 2000s?
Yeah, that's a
I was like
great pull by
5.
you. Great pull by you.
I think that was a lot. Like Curtis Martin was on those teams. Like you had Keyshawn Johnson late 90s. Like I think that was the last time that like the Jets were like really okay, yeah, formidable. Like or
Yeah,
fucking Joe
it's
Namath. Are we going back to the 60s? Like I don't know how far we got to go back here. It's just a cursed franchise that's never changed, and it probably will never change. Has to start from the top until they sell. I have no hope in them being any good remotely at all.
Brees Hall did get paid, so good for him.
But he just got hurt today, non-contact injury.
He did, yeah, he did. So not amazing for him, but at
Nah.
least he's getting paid his money that he wanted.
Geno Smith got a DUI this offseason? Was that what I saw, or some kind of charge? I don't know, something not good, right?
You're breaking news to me.
All right,
sounds like the perfect Jets thing to happen to them.
Geno
Their
Smith
quarterback that they
DUI
signed, gets arrested. So
he had something that came up recently. I can't remember. He had a DUI a few years ago, so maybe I'm misspeaking there. So hand up, Geno, hand up. That's on me. But you did have something that happened this offseason.
The slander on this podcast is crazy.
Yeah, 100%. But it's the Jets, so fuck them.
What else on this team? I mean, I like in my heart of hearts, I want to root for this team just because Aaron Glenn, former Texan, when they came to town, played for us back in the day. It's just so bad over there. The organization is just so bad. I feel like any coach that comes in is going to be 10, 50 times harder for them to have success. And, last year in the offseason, the Aaron Rodgers stuff was happening. On one hand, I was like, you know what? Aaron Glenn kind of putting his foot down.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, they get into the season and they start losing games, and it just snowballed really fast. And my thing on the Jets, beginning of the last season, game 1 was a team that made the playoffs, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They kind of played really, really well against that team. Ended up losing by a couple points, but I thought they competed well. I thought they had a chance to beat that team at the end of the game. Didn't happen, but it just snowballed after that.
Yeah, and they almost beat the Bucks in week 2 or whatever last season. Aaron Glenn's running down the sideline on a punt return touchdown, I believe is what it was, or an pick 6. I can't remember which one it was, but I think it was punt return. And you see a little bit of glimmers of hope for the Jets fans out there, and I feel for Jets fans because they're Mets fans as well. And you just pair those two together. It's tough. It's real tough. And you're in New York City and you're expected to win. You're under the bright lights. You're not in New York City though. You play in the Meadowlands. You play in New Jersey, and that's kind of tough. And what can you do? It's just inept. It is roster construction is bad. Every draft pick they've pretty much taken has been bad. Like Garrett Wilson is a sick player, but why'd you take Garrett Wilson when you need offensive linemen and you need running backs and you need linebackers and defensive linemen and cornerbacks and safeties? Like they picked up Minkah Fitzpatrick and then gave him more money out of nowhere after getting traded from the Dolphins. Like he was already making $13 million. You didn't need to give him an extension. He's not that good. He's an aging safety that has numbers that were declining with the Steelers and then declined even more with the Dolphins last season. He was our best secondary player last season by a large margin, and he wasn't that good. So it's their decision making is tough. And then when you get on the field, it's we're taking Geno Smith. Did we not watch what happened in Vegas?
Yeah.
Did we not?
I mean, it's kind of like they want to tank.
And they should.
They probably should.
But I feel like they've been tanking for a decade.
Yeah. Seems that way.
And then they watched Sam Darnold win the Super Bowl last year.
That had to be tough, man.
I don't know what to do with them, man. They won what? Yeah. 2 games last year? 3 games?
They just can't win for losing, man. They just can't.
Yeah, they won 3 games. They went 3-14 last year.
I will say one move that I will give them credit for is what they got back for Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, they did well at the trade deadline.
I thought they got a good haul for him. Last season on this podcast, I slandered the Colts for making that move because I thought they just gave up too much for him, especially their outlook on how they thought or how they think they're going to be as far as success in the next 2 years. I thought they were looking through the rose-colored glasses, right? What the Colts were.
Yeah.
And So they get Sauce Gardner. He gets hurt. Tough for him. Tough for them. The Jets, in theory, won that trade, but again, like, what are you gonna do with the draft picks, right? I think that's the main question for those guys.
Can't trust them. And they traded Quinn and Williams too and got draft picks out of that, first and the second, I believe. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. I think the Jets are one of these teams this season that like kind of like the Dolphins, but not really. I would say the Jets, like, they're going to tank.
Oh, for sure.
And if they don't tank, if they try to win games, I think you have to burn that organization to the ground, because we got the quarterback class coming out in the draft next season. And if I'm a Jets fan, like, I have to have the number one pick. Have to. Like, no questions asked.
Yeah, when you compare the Dolphins and the Jets, it's like they both have one dynamic player, and the Dolphins' dynamic player is better. Achan's better than Garrett Wilson is. Garrett Wilson obviously has to have a good quarterback behind it, so that's kind of tough on him. And it's not a knock against Garrett Wilson. It's just that Devon Achan can make more happen by himself by avoiding the offensive line and the defensive lineman. Like, Devon Achan can find holes that Garrett Wilson can't because he's not running the ball. That's the only difference, right, that we've seen out of it. Outside of that, it's like Geno Smith versus Malik Willis. I'm probably going to just take Malik Willis because he's younger. We haven't really seen it for 17 games. I'd rather just see that than what happened in Vegas with Geno Smith. Like, I don't want to see that again, or even with what happened in Seattle the year before that. Like, I'm good. Hard pass. And then you look at the defense, and it's like, who's on the Jets defense now? Could you name a player?
It's crazy you say that, because
Is it Mozzie Smith? Is that the one guy?
A couple years ago, their defense, I love what they're doing, and then they just
they drafted David Bailey, and everyone's like, yeah, I mean, he's good, but he's also like 3 years older than everyone else you could have drafted. He's 26, right?
Yeah.
He's way older than everyone, which means he could be better right now, but his ceiling is obviously lower than a lot of other people. Like, I guess they got Adonai Mitchell from the Colts too, so like they have a couple weapons, but it's just like, man, looking at this roster, it's bleak, and I think it's just as bleak as the Dolphins roster without as many bright spots, and I think that's why they're worse than the Dolphins this upcoming season.
We went longer on the Jets than I expected. I thought it was going to be a 2-second segment, but
I can talk about the Jets all day long.
Shout out to us for going, as long as we did about the Jets. Which brings us to our next team. The schedule merchants, the participants of the Super Bowl last year. Many are calling their coach a cheater. Not us, just many. The New England Patriots. They have a harder schedule this season. The New England Patriots are, to me, they're one of the more intriguing teams in the league. They had a great year 2 last season with Drake May, Mike Vrabel as the head coach. I just don't think this team is going to be as good as they were last year. And it's crazy because they made improvements to the roster. Obviously, A.J. Brown, great receiver, got that guy. He's their number one receiver. They got Romeo Doubs. I think that's a good addition to the receiving core. So offensively, they got better. It's just Drake May's a young quarterback, and can he consistently build on what he did last year, which was a pretty damn good season for a young quarterback?
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm looking at their numbers from last year. They scored 490 points, which was 9 more than the Buffalo Bills. And points against was 320, which was 45 less than the Buffalo Bills. If you just put their schedule, what they played last year, on the schedule for this year, you're going to take away, 40 points on each side? You're going to add 40 points to their points against, take away 40 points. You're still going to win 12 games with that. Like, I think they're in a really good situation. I think, just like we were saying, building blocks of a foundation, everything, they have Mike Vrabel. They already have the foundation. Now they're building blocks, and their house is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They went from, 2,500 square feet the first year to 5,000 square feet. And now last season, they're probably at 10,000 square feet. Like, you go to the Super Bowl, you're at a 10,000 square foot house. Now you can add a story. Now you can add a garage. You can add a rec center. Like, you can do a golf simulator room. Like, you can add all these things to your house every year as you keep building. When you add A.J. Brown, who loves Mike Vrabel, that's his guy. Like, they love each other. Drake May, another year of progression for your really, really, really young offensive line that struggled in the Super Bowl against a fucking dominant defense, by the way. We haven't talked enough about their dominant ass defense, but your offensive line took some troubles, and they're going to learn from it, or they're either going to sink or swim, right? So I think that's kind of their main thing. You added weapons for Drake May. I think your defense is going to be just fine. I'm not worried about that. I'm not saying they're going to win 14 games, but I don't think the drop-off is going to be astronomical because I think they're going to be a better team.
I've seen people say 8-9 wins, and I'm like, man, I'm not gonna go that far. I'm not going that far.
No. The only thing that could really derail this team is probably another cheating scandal from Mike Vrabel, like with Diana Rossini, like, and he has to get fired. Like, that's the only scenario that probably is like, okay, yeah, you're not winning 11 games this year.
I think I would put this team down as currently constructed. Obviously, if nothing crazy happens, I think 11 wins is fair for this team. It's just for me, I don't know how much, the schedule part of it is going to make a difference. Obviously, they're not going to be as good as they were last year. They played a lot of bad teams last season.
Mm-hmm.
But like the other thing is, early in the season, they struggled against the Raiders. And so
Yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking, like, are they going to struggle against the good teams and play well against the bad teams? Because that didn't happen last year.
Or is it the Astro syndrome where they play up to their competition and play down to their competition?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see a little bit of that happening.
And when you play the Dolphins and Jets twice, it could get a little scary there. You got to win those games because you're going to either split, or you could split against the Bills, or you could lose both games against Bills, or you can win in both games against Bills. Who's to say? We're going to talk about them next, but you got to sweep the Dolphins and Jets if you're the Patriots and the Bills.
Yeah.
It's 4 games. You got to win those. So
yeah, I think if this is going to be one of those divisions like it was last year, where 2 teams get in, that has you cannot lose to the Dolphins, cannot lose to the Jets.
No.
If you do, then it's going to be a struggle getting in the playoffs, because we're going to talk about one of these other divisions later. But AFC West, they have 3 good teams in my opinion. The AFC South have 2 really good teams in my opinion, and so the AFC again, dude, it's gonna be tough to make the playoffs in this division if everybody is really good.
It's gonna be tough, and I don't know. I still think they're good. I think they have a good coach and they have the foundation. I think that matters in the end.
I'll say the foundation is great. I think they're going to be a good team, not a great team. But I think it's going to be one of those situations with the Patriots where it's been like this since Bill Belichick, where they're not necessarily dominant throughout the regular season always.
Mm-hmm.
I think especially their offensive line, which really kind of got exposed in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yet they were still able to make it to the Super Bowl, So I think that's going to be like a growth factor with that position group for this team. And so do I see them winning 15 or 14 games? No. But I think by November, December, and especially January, I think Mike Vrabel's such a good coach that he's going to have this team playing their best ball.
Yeah. Strong agree. I think this team's better than what a lot of people are giving them credit for. I know they played a shit schedule last year. They were 8-0 on the road. They were 6-3 at home. Went to the Super Bowl against shitty teams, right? Bo Nix gets hurt, and you just had an easier path. Taking a shot at your Texans. That Texans defense was unreal, but you played in the rain, and CJ Stroud had the yips. I'm just going to say he has the yips. That's what it was last year. It was bad. So I think
I will say I think you can make a good point about the Patriots. The road to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying they were a lucky team, but they kind of got lucky with who they drew, and not shitting on the Texans at all, but it was a Texans team that missing Nico Collins. We know what they look like against Pittsburgh, and then you win that game, and then you obviously going to Denver in the snow, tough.
Mm-hmm.
But they're playing a backup quarterback, man. It makes it a little bit easier. Just saying.
Yeah, they got the cards fell in their way last season during the postseason, but they earned their way to get to the second seed, right? They won 14 games. I know Denver won 15, so they got the top seed. But yeah, I think they're still going to be really good. I don't know if it's 14 wins or if it's 11 wins, but I think they're in that range.
Which brings us to our final team. We just talked about a team that got lucky. This team and their fans probably have the worst luck I have ever seen in my life, especially in the playoffs recently. Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills. What do we think about their stadium? I've heard criticisms about I think the stadium's cool. I did see the obstruction view stuff about the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I had never been to the old Bill Stadium.
Yeah.
The new Bill Stadium is probably on my bucket list to go to a Bills game. Would be cool.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what it looks like in the regular season, I guess, because now it just feels like there's no character.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
kind of what happens right now. But yeah, Buffalo Bills 12-5 last year, still a really good team, and fire their coach. So Joe Brady, I have no idea what to expect as a head coach because like he came in as an OC right after the 2019-2020 LSU Tigers won that title with him as the OC. Comes to Carolina, gets fired with Matt Rule's Carolina Panthers, if I'm not mistaken. Like he was the OC and got fired from them, and then kind of worked his way in as the QB guy, and then the OC, I think, for the Bills. And I don't know. I have no idea what to expect from this Bills team. Not a fucking clue. I have no idea.
The Bills, I think they can probably be like 11-16 at worst.
Okay.
But I think if things go right for them, I think they can win 14 games.
Yeah,
Maybe 13, 14 games.
really good.
Josh Allen's going to put up numbers again. Like we all know that's going to happen in the regular season. Everybody's loving DJ Moore right now there. He looked kind of good in the preseason, the one game they had.
Everyone loves DJ Moore till they don't.
Yeah, true. And it's one of those things where like Bills fans are excited about Joe Brady. Like, Coach Joe Burrow in 2019, like you brought up earlier, kind of goes to Carolina and doesn't go his way. And he makes his way back, into the NFL. Is with the Bills, was in that organization, and as the Sean McDermott fire kind of got dimmer and dimmer, the Bills fans were kind of banging the table for Joe Brady, and so they finally got their guy, and I think it's going to be an interesting regular season for the Bills. It's just to me with this team, it's been this way for the past 5 years. What do they do in the playoffs? It always seems like they get into the playoffs, get past the first round in the divisional round. Something wacky just tends to fucking happen with this team, man. And we talked about the AFC earlier, how stacked it is. In a scenario where they get to the playoffs, in order for them to make a run of the Super Bowl, they have to get home court advantage. I'm in NBA mode right now. Home field advantage throughout the playoffs, and we will probably have our playoff / Super Bowl prediction stuff a little later.
Yeah.
But I'll just say that I don't think the Bills are going to have home field playoffs throughout.
No, I think they're going to have to beat the Patriots. I don't know if they're doing that. I think I'm curious to see my two questions with the Bills is what the offense looks like, because I know it's been Joe Brady's offense, but how does it change without Sean McDermott in the picture? Because ultimately he was going to have final say of what the offense should and shouldn't look like. And I don't know what the autonomy was for the coordinators there in that situation, but I know McDermott took back defensive play calling duties middle of the season last year. So I'm curious to see what it looks like under Joe Brady offensive wise. And then what does the defense look like without Sean McDermott? Since he was the mastermind of the defense, wasn't running it, and then ended up calling the plays at the middle of last year through the rest of the season or towards the end of the season, whenever it was. Like, that was his system. That was his defense. That was what he put together. I wonder what Joe Brady put together. Those are my two biggest question marks about the Bills. Yeah, they should win 12 games, but I don't know what it looks like. I have no idea because I couldn't tell you. I just have no idea.
Yeah, I think this could be one of those things where they start slow because of the new head coach. So
yeah, could be. Or they could start really fucking fast and falter at the end.
Yeah. Either or with this team.
Who's to say?
Do we think Josh Allen's going to be a finalist for the MVP this season?
Who do you think wins it this year? Like, I guess we'll have predictions. So it's like, yeah, I mean, Allen should be in it. Like, I don't think Mahomes is in it anymore. I don't think Lamar Jackson's in it anymore.
I think if the Ravens stay healthy, I think Lamar Jackson might, just because it's freaking Lamar Jackson. He always is. I don't,
like,
do we see a new name entering the conversation?
Like, do we get a Brock Purdy year? But they have the electrical stanchion thing going on outside their stadium, so like everybody still dies. Does Matt Stafford's arm stay attached? Because if so, like that's a really good pick as well. Like, do we see a sneaky? This is a sneaky question. I've been kind of liking this head coach recently. A lot of clips, a lot of things happening. Do we see a sneaky like Trevor Lawrence top 3 MVP season? Sneaky.
I've heard the Jags fans kind of say that on the internet, man.
I
They
haven't
are
seen any
hyping
of
up the
this. I've
MVP
just seen the
Trevor
clips.
Lawrence.
I've
They're
seen the
hyping it
clips of the
up.
coach. I like Liam Cohen. I think
I
I'm
do. I
in
do.
on the yeah. I think I'm in on Trevor Lawrence. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. You can see something crazy happen, but do we
I think
see
there. Well, I
anything on
will
the
say
list?
this about the MVP race this season: it's going to be. There's a lot of candidates. Um, it's. I think it's going to be one of those where the fourth guy that falls out of the finalists for the MVP, you're going to look at this guy's stats throughout the season, and you're like, man, he could have easily won it. It's going to be one of those years because we have a lot of people make a lot about quarterbacks aren't developed anymore, but
Mm-hmm.
we have a lot of raw talent in the league at quarterback in 2026.
I'm going to throw Devon Achan's name in the hat. If he's going to get
Got
40
to, you
touches
got
a
to.
game, he's going to have 3,000 all-purpose yards.
Your coach wants to run him into the ground, so not a bad pick.
Look, if all the guaranteed money is in year one, fuck it. Send it, boys, and go get an MVP, 40 touches a game. Why not? I don't know. It'd be funny. No, I'm curious to see what happens with the Bills. MVP is going to be fun too.
So with that being said, let's get to our predictions for the AFC East. Number 4, this is an obvious one. The Jets fucking suck, man. They're
Yeah.
probably going to be the worst team in the league. Definitely going to be the worst team in this division. They're bad, terrible. Jets at number 4.
Same. Yeah, they're a 3-win team again. I don't see it altering any. It might be less actually. It might be less than 3. Is to say.
Yeah, they're bad. They're bad.
Yeah.
That was quick. Number 3. Number 3. I have got the Miami Dolphins. I think, obvious answer to me. I think we'll see glimpses of a okay team, but I feel like this team should also kind of be in tank mode. But at the same time, you want to see what you have in Malik Willis. I think he'll have his moments throughout the season. Obviously, Devon Shane is gonna just ball out the entire season if he can stay healthy. Um, Dolphins are number 3.
Yeah. No, it's the same. It's not any different than last year. I think the Dolphins are just marginally better than the Jets, and that's kind of the only difference.
That's it. Yeah. Number 2, I've got the New England Patriots.
Okay.
The New England Patriots, we talked about it. I think their schedule will kind of creep up on them a little bit. I think that, not to say Drake May will come back down to earth, but I think he had a really good year last year, and it's very, very difficult unless you're one of the top guys. And if he is the top guy, then I will gladly eat crow on this podcast. But I think he's susceptible to not have a bad year, but have a slightly worse year than he did last season. He's still a young quarterback. He's still, from what we saw in the Super Bowl, he's still learning the game. I mean, it's year 3 for Drake May, so it is absolutely acceptable for him to take a small, tiny step back. And I think that's kind of what's going to happen. But in the long run, I think it'll be better for him as a quarterback, as a player, all that stuff. Patriots at number 2.
I got the Bills at 2. There's more question marks there on that team and what that's going to look like than I have for the Patriots, just because they have the foundation and then they added weapons on the offensive side. I think that just makes it easier for me to pick the Patriots to win the division and the Bills to get second. And I don't think they're going to be marginally worse. I don't think they're going to be marginally better. I think they're in that 11 to 13 win range, and I think the Patriots are kind of in that same win range. I just think that the Patriots are a better team, so I think they may win the head-to-head or the tiebreakers and all that kind of stuff. I think they end up with like a game off or the exact same record. I think that's all it is.
Number 1, I'm going the Bills. I trust this team in the regular season. Emphasis on regular season. I think Josh Allen obviously is an MVP player. He's going to put up numbers no matter who his damn head coach is, no matter what offense he's in. Like, he is an amazing player. He's going to put up, amazing numbers.
Mm-hmm.
For me, with this team, it's about the playoffs. I think they're going to be good enough to get in the playoffs. I like what they kind of did on offense with DJ Moore. if he can stay healthy, I think this team is 12, 13-1 team. And with the Patriots, you're probably thinking like, man, how many wins do you have them at? I think at worst 10-7 is still good enough to get to the playoffs.
Sometimes depends what the AFC
Um,
looks like. I mean, the Dolphins have gone
yeah, and
7 a bunch of times and never made it.
it's one of those things where I think they're not going to be the last team in, but I don't think it's going to be a free and easy ride as like it was last year for them.
Yeah, it'll be much harder. I think
Yeah.
the weapons helps. I think AJ Brown, Romeo Dobbs, like you just have more weapons. And Kayshon Boutte and team and company were like fine last year. They ran a bunch of deep routes for Drake May, but now you add fucking AJ Brown to that. I know AJ Brown's a little bit older, a little bit disgruntled, whatever, but new situation. He's happy. He's been a Patriots fan his whole life. Like he's excited to be there, and he's with Vrabel. Kind of an ideal situation for that guy. And then you paid Dobbs, and I think your running backs, Hendrickson's going to be a year older. I think that helps out. And then your offensive line. It's a year older. The continuity. That's why I picked the Patriots over the Bills.
Yeah.
I know Joe Brady was there with the Bills, but new head coach, new system, new philosophies, new foundation, that kind of stuff. I think that matters more to me, that the Patriots have continuity there.
So there we have it. Our AFC East preview and prediction. This is kind of new for us. We usually agree on most things, but we kind of got different number ones and number twos. So
Yeah.
Yeah. With that being said, that is the end of our episode today. Go ahead and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all our content. Subscribe to our TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. Subscribe to the YouTube, and we'll see you guys next time on the next episode of Play Action Takes podcast.